In this training session, we're going to continue with debtors interest charging, and we already looked at the first setup option, which was company default settings 2, where we set up the prime interest rate. Now we have to go to module parameters. So I'm going to say utilities, setup, module parameters. And under the debtors tab, there is an option here that says risk profiles, and we're going to click on setup. Now what risk profiles will do is it will allow you to have other interest rates. In other words, you've got your default interest rate, but this will allow you to have interest rates above the default or interest rates below the default. So I'm going to click on add over here, and I'm going to say number 2. My first option will be a low risk, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say -2. Now what -2 means is it will take your default percentage and deduct 2% off that, and that will then be the percentage that will be used for the interest. So once we've set up these interest rates, you will go to debtors maintenance and select a specific rate for individual customers. So I'm going to set up another interest rate here. This one will be high risk, and I'm going to for the rate percentage, I'm going to just type in 2. Now that will add 2% on the standard rate already. So in other words, your standard rate is 10%, the high risk will now be 12%, and the low risk will be 8%. We can preview a report. If you can preview, you can design. We can even delete one of these rates that we already created. If you wanted to search, you can search for a specific word, and then we can say accept. And that concludes module parameters setup for interest charging.